You can get the cards you need for today's Budget Magic deck and support the show from this episode's sponsor, Card Kingdom. Just follow the link in the description box down below. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. So it's been a while since we played a modern budget deck, but today we are heading back to modern for a deck I am really excited about. This is a deck, I'm calling it Artifact Blast. It's basically a almost ultra budget, and on Magic Online, good lord, 7 ticks, that's like 2 booster packs, in 69 bucks in paper, so a really cheap, somewhat Affinity style deck, but really focused on burning the opponent out of the game with Galvanic Blast and Shrapnel Blast. So that's our deck for the day, Artifact Blast, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So a super quick reminder before we break down Artifact Blast for Modern. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy Budget Magic in general, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Artifact Blast, and really to understand the deck, we got to start off by talking about our artifacts. So the idea of this deck is pretty simple. We want to get in somewhere between, let's say, 7 to 11-ish damage with our creatures. So we got a lot of cheap creatures to hopefully get in some damage early in the game, and we need them to be artifacts to support our other cards. So we start off on turn number 1 with some free artifacts. Memnite, just a 1/1 for 0. Ornithopter, a 0/2 for 0. Obviously not very powerful on their own, but they're cheap and they're good ways to power up our other synergies. Then in the 1-drop slot, we have Vault Scourge and Arcbound Worker. So Vault Scourge, yes, technically 2 mana, but really we're always casting it for 1 mana and 2 life with Phyrexian mana. And then it gives us an evasive artifact creature. Arcbound Worker, when it dies, we can move the counter on one of our other creatures, so get a little bit of benefit there. And then we also have Signal Pest and Bomat Courier, which are 2 of the most powerful creatures in our deck. So Signal Pest is a way that we can pump our entire team when it attacks. So suddenly our Ornithopter is hitting for damage, our Memnite's hitting for 2. So it's a really nice anthem effect that also leaves an artifact creature on the battlefield. And then Bomat Courier, our deck, thanks to its cheapness, like everything is basically 1 and 0 and a couple of 2 mana cards, but very cheap. And we have some ways to just dump our hand really quickly. So with Bomat Courier, we can often dump our hand, get in a couple of hits in the early game, and then use Bomat Courier as a way to refill. So that's the creature base. To work with our creatures, we got a bunch of pumping effects. So Cranial Plating, pretty well known for Affinity style decks, is just incredibly powerful in a deck overflowing with artifacts. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, which usually means Cranial Plating is giving one of our random dorks like +5 power, +6 power, +7 power, meaning even just 1 Cranial Plating hit can accomplish our goal of hitting for our opponent for, let's say, roughly 10 damage is what we want to do. So 1 hit, maybe 2 hits should get that job done. Ghostfire Blade is a nice backup. It looks a little expensive with the 3 equip crossed, but really, in our deck, since we're playing so many colorless artifact creatures, it's usually just 1 to equip, and a 1-mana equipment that is 1 to equip that gives +2/+2 is actually pretty strong, turning our random 1-power creatures into meaningful threats that can get in that damage. So why is hitting our opponent for roughly 10 damage with our creatures, with our equipment so important? That's because it gets our opponent into blast range. So the unique part of this deck is we're actually kind of like a burn deck in a weird way. We don't have to kill our opponent. The idea of this deck is we're going to hit our opponent hopefully for like 10-ish damage, roughly, and then even if our opponent sweeps the board, deals with our creatures, whatever, we're going to try to burn our opponent out with Galvanic Blast and Shrapnel Blast, which are 2 of the most insanely powerful burn spells in the modern format, but you got to be playing a bunch of artifacts to make it work. So Galvanic Blast in our deck, since we have so many artifacts, basically 4 damage for a single mana, an upgraded Lightning Bolt, and then Shrapnel Blast, 5 damage for 2 mana. We gotta sacrifice an artifact to do it, but that's not a problem because our deck's overflowing with cheap artifacts. So that's the plan of the deck. Play all these really cheap artifact creatures, pump them with some equipment, hopefully get in for roughly 10-ish points of damage, and then finish our opponent off for 1 mana, for 2 mana with our blast effects to our opponent's face. We also have Spring Springleaf Drum, just another artifact that also helps us accelerate out of the gate. We can play it, let's say, on turn 2. We can play a 1-drop, we can play a Springleaf Drum, then we can tap our Summoning Sick creature to play another 1-drop. Plus, it's an artifact on the battlefield to sacrifice to our Shrapnel Blast to pump our Cranial Plating. As far as the mana base, pretty simple. We have 4 copies of Blinkmoth Nexus and 4 Darksteel Citadels, which are basically additional artifacts that count as land. So other ways to have things to sacrifice to our Shrapnel Blast, etc. We can even get us some damage in the air with Blinkmoth Nexus. Good way to recover from like a Wrath. 1 Adventurer's Fair, just kind of a free roll. We don't need that much red mana because really our deck is colorless except for our Blast, so we don't need that many red sources, and our Springleaf Drum helps give us an extra source anyway, so just some free life gain, and then some mountains. As far as the sideboard, we have a bunch of targeted hate stuff. Tormod Crypt for graveyard decks, Damping Sphere for Tron decks, for Storm decks, Alpine Moon to shut down things like Valakut. Then we have some ways to kind of make our deck more resilient. Welding Jar to protect our artifacts from a removal spell by regenerating them. Etch Champion, really good in non-Wrath matchups. If our opponent's trying to use targeted removal to eat through our board, Etch Champion with a equipment or 2 on it, really good way to steal games. Gurper Ether Grid gives us another way of winning through Stony Silence. With a Stony Silence out, we can't use our equipment, which really slows down our deck. We're a little better than a typical Affinity deck against a Stony Silence since we have all the blast effects in our main deck, but Gurper Ether Grid, another resilient way to fight through the hate out of people's sideboards. And then for removal, Whip Flare gives us a one-sided Pyroclasm, Smash to Smithereens for artifacts, and that is Artifact Blast for Modern. And that's our budget Magic deck for this week. So I think this deck's going to be a lot of fun. It's kind of Affinity-ish. If you like getting aggro, and you like throwing equipments on things, and you like throwing insanely powerful burn spells at your opponent's face, I think this is a good option, and it's really cheap. Like, that's the biggest upside of this deck. It's really, really cheap. Most of the pieces you can slowly upgrade towards Affinity. A lot of the pieces are used in that deck. Not every one, but many of the most expensive cards are. So the deck is super cheap. It's essentially close to free on Magic Online. Like, you can't do any better than $7 on Magic Online, and I think the deck's actually pretty competitive. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's get to the gameplay so you can see how it works. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. Alright, budget Magic time. We are playing some Artifact Blast. Kind of like an Affinity Burn style deck in Modern. And this hand's pretty fine. We don't want a ton of lands. Flooded Strand. We'll play the Mountain. Play Ornithopter. Play Springleaf Drum. Play Signal Pest? Play Signal Pest. Pass the turn. So we have 10 points of burn in hand, which means we don't really have to get in that much damage. Untap, Hollowed Fountain, opponent down to 10, pass our Signal Pest, well, grab a Mountain. That's actually pretty okay. That's 3 damage our opponent took. So we only need 7 more to potentially win with Shrapnel Blast. Field of Ruin for our opponent. And passes. Well, let's Vault Scourge. Play Ghostfire Blade. Equip Ghostfire Blade. Get in for 2. Opponent down to 15. Getting closer. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. We have another Ghostfire Blade too. Steam Vents. Untapped. Okay. Down to 13. Serum Visions. Oh man, we're close. We're getting close to the Shrapnel Blast part of the game. Opponent. Passing. 1 to the bottom, 1 to the top. Well, play Ghostfire Blade. Equip Ghostfire Blade. Ugh. Equip Ghostfire Blade. Go to combat. Attack. Oh, opponent found another path. Alright. Well, get a Mountain. Opponent down to 12. Pass the turn. Planes for our opponent. Serum Visions. We need 2 more points of damage. Yeah, technically Ghostfire Blade, a bit of a non-bow with Vault Scourge. Since it's technically not colorless. Phyrexian mana. Opponent. Passing. Well, play Memnite. Play Cranial Plating. Equip Cranial Plating. Go to combat. Attack. Alright. Opponent's got Snapcaster for Path. Yup. 3 paths are keeping our opponent sort of in the game. Grab a Mountain. Equip Ghostfire Blade. Pass the turn. Flooded Strand. Opponent. Passes. Oh boy. Galvanic Blast. Oh, we are close. We are close. Well, go to combat. Get in with Memnite. Opponent takes it. Down to 9. Alright. And now we wait. We wait for the tapping out. Opponent untaps. Island. And passes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think we're going to do it. Get in with Memnite. Hit our opponent. Another Snapcaster. For a Path to Exile. Opponent blocks. And blocks. Okay. Well, trade off. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. And passes. Pass the turn. Oh my goodness! We're so close. We need our opponent to tap out. They have counters. Cracks Flooded Strand. Alright, so let's Galvanic Blast our opponent's face. Galvanic Blast our opponent's face. And game? The blast? The artifact blast coming through? Okay, well, guess what? There's more blasts. Shrapnel Blast our opponent's face. The blasts! The blasts! Well, that went pretty much like we were hoping it would go. Blast him right out of the game. Alright, opponent's playing blue-white control. So we want Gurper Ether Grid. And that's probably about it. Let's go down one Arcbound Worker, I guess. Yeah, let's try it like that. Keep the blast going. Alright, this sounds pretty good. Bowmat Courier, Memnite, Cranial Plating, and our Ether Grid. Flooded Strand for our opponent. Let's Darksteel Citadel and Bowmat Courier. Go attacking. Opponent cracks. Steam Vents. Tapped. Well, we might as well play the Memnite. Pass the turn. Opponent. Glacial Fortress. And passes. Well, play the Mountain. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it. Well, play Vault Scourge. Actually, let's just Cranial Plating. Wow, resolves. That's good. Maybe our opponent has Stony Silence. So opponent's at 16. Field of Ruin. Yup. And passes. Well, equip cranial plating. Opponent's going to lightning helix. Alright. Well, play ornithopter. Play a mountain. Play a signal pest. Equip cranial plating. Hit our opponent for 6, down to 12. And see if our opponent has land supreme verdict. That's really what they need here. Or like, I guess, an anger of the gods or something. Opponent plains. And passes. I'll play the mountain. Play Gurper Ether Grid. We want to be in a position where we can crack this Bomat Courier to draw cards. Opponent's thinking. An opponent lost connection to the game. Uh-oh. Does this mean, does this mean we got him? Opponent losing to almost ultra budget artifact blastages. They've had enough. They're done. Opponent. All right. Opponent's returned. We did not actually scare them away. Resolves. Well, we go to combat. Attack with everything. Trigger. Trigger. Ooh, opponent's going to settle the wreckage. Well, crack Bomat Courier. Draw some cards. That does slow us down. Settle. Grabs us a couple of mountains. Thinning the deck is good. Yep. Well, play Ornithopter. Keep the pressure on. Pass the turn. Opponent. Untaps. We can also start pinging with this Ether Grid. Opponent. Tapping, untapping. Land for our opponent. Teferi. Draws with Teferi. Well. Ping Teferi. Teferi is an issue. Yup. Draws a card. Gets to untap a couple lands. Well, we'll see. Galvanic Blast would be a pretty sweet draw. Just to kill this Teferi. Opponent. Untaps. Shrapnel Blast. Well. Play Vault Scourge. Play Signal Pest. Equip Cranial Plating. Attack Teferi. Opponent cycles. Okay. Teferi down. Alright, that's good news. That's good news. And we got a blast in hand. Opponent needs another sweeper. Or we're going to just take this down. We're very close. Island for our opponent. Serum Visions. Goes digging. 2 to the top. Timely reinforcements. Alright. Well, let's... I guess our opponent can't block with these tokens anyway. So ping our opponent. Ping our opponent. Untap. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes 8, and we're back to the winning if our opponent taps out part of the game. Opponent untaps. Sulfur Falls. Attacks. We will take 3. Alright, well, ping our opponent. If the plan is Snapcaster Settle, I think we win. Blink Moth Nexus. Well, play Blink Moth. Go to combat. Opponent. Cryptic. Well, tap. Tap. Put our opponent to 6. They bounce our Ether Grid. So now we replay Ether Grid. Game. It's game. We got him. The blasts. The blasts are coming through. That's why we're playing the blasts. Yes. 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 Opponent's going to logic knot, and we're just going to double blast and win. Yeah, so Galvanic blast you. And then also Shrapnel blast you. Double blast. Man, the blasts are so much damage! And that's game! Take that, best deck in Modern. Nice to fairy, nice to fairy. I think our deck costs like $8 or something. Less than a single Teferi. Sweet. Well, that's not bad for Artifact Blast. The blast coming through. Sweet. Alright, budget magic time. We are playing some Artifact Blast, Blast Affinity, something like that. In Modern. And yeah, this hand looks fine. I mean, turn 1, Signal Pest. Actually, probably just turn 1, Bomat Courier. Play a Mountain. Play Bomat Courier. Go attacking. Pass the turn. Opponent. Verdant Catacombs. Cracks it. Blood Crypt. Untap down to 16. Okay. And bolts are Bomat Courier. Yup. We draw Arcbound Worker. Well, play the Mountain. Play Arcbound Worker. Play Springleaf Drum. And Signal Pest. Pass the turn. If our opponent taps out, we can get in a Cranial Plating hit. 4 is for our opponent. Alright, there's a Goyf. Well, it's race time. Opponent passes. Alright, so play Cranial Plating. Equip Cranial Plating. Get in for 4. And pass the turn. Opponent's down to 12, and we have 1 blast in hand. Verdant Catacombs for our opponent. Cracks it. Swamp. Something like Colligan's Command would be bad to get rid of plating. It's Colligan's Command. Alright. Kill Signal Pest. Also Cranial Plating. Well, come on, Blast. Opponent gets in. Down to 16. Well, get in with Arcbound Worker. Hit our opponent. Play a Vault Scourge. Pass the turn. I mean, we have 2 blasts in hand. We're super close. Twilight Mire. Opponent. Bloodbraid. Into Nile Spellbound. That's fine. Oh, man. We're a blast away. Or if our opponent attacks here with both, we win. Opponent. Get in. You gotta get in. Yes, game! It's game! We're gonna blast him. It's time for the blast. Yes, we take our beats. Well, now we Galvanic Blast our opponent. Oh, this is Xaxes. Galvanic Blast our opponent. Untap. Attack for 2. And that is the power of the blast. So much damage. So much damage out of nowhere. And take that, Jund. You've been blasted. Alright, so against Jund, I think our main additions are Etch Champion and Welding Jar. Going down... What are we cutting? Maybe like Arcbound Worker... Arcbound Worker... Springleaf Drum? We probably need Springleaf Drum. Arcbound Worker, Arcbound Worker. Let's go down 1 Ghostfire Blade. Go 2 Ghostfire Blades, 3 Cranial Platings. Alright, try it like that. Well, that went well. So far, the blasts have been insane. They're just so good. Okay. This hand's actually pretty good. We will keep Blood Crypt. Untap down to 18. And Inquisition. Well, I'm assuming our opponent takes Cranial Plating. Would be my guess. They could take Springleaf Drum to try to slow us down a little. If they don't take plating, we can technically play it on turn 1 if we want. Actually, no, we can't. All right, takes plating. Opponent passes. Well, play Blink Moth. Play Springleaf Drum. Play Memnite. Memnite for mana. Bomat Courier. Get in for 1. Hit our opponent. Yeah, I guess we'll play Ornithopter. Pass the turn. We might just be emptying our hand here. The only downside is we don't really have much power on the battlefield at the moment. Tap land for our opponent. And, alright, kills Bomat Courier. Opponent passes. Oh, play Blink Moth Nexus. Vault Scourge. Get in with Memnite. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Forest for our opponent. Anger of the Gods. Yikes. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, I mean, I guess we Shrapnel Blast. Hit our opponent to 11. Well, play Memnite. Yeah, activate Blink Moth. Get in for 1. Hit our opponent. Down to 10. Bloodstained Mire. I mean, if we can string together some blasts. Opponent's at 9. That's like roughly 2 blast range. Tarmogoyf. Ugh, that's a fast clock. That's a fast clock. Oh, play Blink Moth. Activate Blink Moth. Activate Blink Moth. Hit our opponent to 7. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to need a really good blast. Opponent gets in with 2 Goyfs. We drop to 8. Kitchen Finks. That's not good. Now a blast doesn't do it. Alright. Play Edge Champion. Yeah. This doesn't actually work. I think we're just dead. Oh, man, we were close. Good news is we get to be on the play for Game 3. If we had got down that cranial plating, it might have worked. Still, I mean, we're giving Jund to run with our $60-ish deck. Bone it. Collective Brutality on Memnite. Alright. Yup. That does it. Alright. Well, we're on the play. I don't think we want to change anything else. Yeah. Run it back. Run it back. Hopefully get off to a nice fast aggro start. Alright. We get to play first. Okay. This hand's not bad. Bomat Courier is a good card. And we have 2. Ornithopter, a little less exciting, unless we get down cranial plating, and opponent's doing some mulliganing. Alright? We're off to the races with our Bomat Couriers. Well, Blink Moth Nexus. Bomat Courier. Get in for 1. Start the beats. And pass the turn. Gonna hold the Ornithopters for now. They don't really do anything yet. Blood Crypt, untapped. And, alright, opponent's got a Lightning Bolt. Well, let's play Memnite. Play Ornithopter. Play a Mountain. Play Cranial Plating. Pass the turn. Opponent. Passing. Alright, so play Bomat Courier. Equip Ornithopter. Attack with everything. Gotta get the damage while we can. Opponent down to 11. Opponent. Oh, passing? Opponent's passing. Well, play Ornithopter. Fire up Blink Moth. Play Blink Moth. Play Signal Pest. Attack with everything. 7, 8, 9, 10. Opponent goes to 1? Oh, man. We should have played that Ornithopter last turn. We missed a point of damage or we would have had the kill. Well, we won game 1 pretty fairly. Game 3, our opponent's deck didn't cooperate. But still, even with that slight misplay, shows the power of blasted fast artifacts. Kind of like Blast Affinity. Not bad for a super cheap deck. So, hey, all right. Budget Magic time. We are playing some Artifact Blast. I don't know the best name for this deck. Kind of a very budget Affinity style deck built around Shrapnel Blast, Galvanic Blast. This hand, I guess we just get down our Bomat Courier, go attacking, hit our opponent, pass the turn, see what our opponent's up to. Opponent. Ooh. Swamp A. Interesting. Inquisition. Well, opponent's got plenty of options. What would I take? I don't actually know. Maybe Ghostfire Blade? Alright, takes Arcbound Worker. Interesting. Well, get in with Bomat Courier. Hit our opponent. Play Volscourge. Had to wait for our opponent to click OK. Keep the play going. Pass the turn. I didn't really... We could have played two things there. We could have Springleaf Drum, tapped this, played Volscourge, but getting cards under Bomat Courier seems like a good plan. Alright, less good of a plan now that it's dead. Cracks Marsh Flats. What is our opponent playing? Oh, blue-black control? Opponent passes. Well, a land is not bad. So play a mountain, play Vault Scourge. Opponent counters. Well, play Springleaf Drum. Get in with Vault Scourge. Hit our opponent. I mean, our opponents used a lot of cards. If they have, like, Liliana here, that would be pretty obnoxious. Opponent. Polluted Delta. Cracks it. Watery Grave. Untap down to 11. Opponent passes. I'll play Ghostfire Blade. Counter Squall. And I'll play Ghostfire Blade. Get in with Volscourge. Hit our opponent. Jeez. More removal? Alright, Murderous Cut. Pass the turn. Well, we'll see. Opponent's still at 11. Serum Visions. And we're running out of threats at the moment. Opponent's just been able to kill everything. Opponent passes. Well, play Ornithopter. We're going to keep attacking. Tap Ornithopter. Fire up Blink Moth. Equip Blink Moth. Go attacking. Oh, please, no more removal. Alright, hit our opponent. Down to 8. Oh, we're so close. We are so close with this blast in hand. Opponent. Fatal Push Ornithopter. Yup. And passes. Alright, pass the turn. We got a plan. It is to blast our way out of this if our opponent taps out. Serum Visions. 2 to the top. Plays a land. Well, fire Blink Moth. Galvanic Blast. Opponent remands. Come on, land! Memnite. Oh, that does it. Memnite. This should do it. Tap Memnite. Galvanic Blast. And then no Spell Snare. Shrapnel Blast. Sack. Springleaf Drum. No Spell Snare. Whoo! We blasted our way through. Blasted through against the control deck. And that's what our deck wants to be doing. That is exactly what our deck wants to be doing. Blasting. Alright, so against Control, I think Ed's Champion seems good in this matchup. And then potentially a couple Welding Jars. And maybe we just go down, like, Ornithopter, Arcbound Worker. Actually, let's go down one Ghostfire Blade 2. One of each. And, yeah, try it like that. Keep the blast going. Okay. We have no red mana, but I think that's fine. Watery Grave. Untapped. And Thoughtseize. Well, at least that's hurting our opponent. Opponent takes our worker. And passes. Well, Darksteel Citadel. Springleaf Drum. Memnite. Pass the turn. Actually, you know what? While our opponent's tapped out, let's just blast their face. Down to 12. Serum Visions for our opponent. Explosives on 0. Okay. Oh boy. Opponent's passing? Oh boy. Well, play Inventor's Fair. Play Signal Pest. Get in with Memnite. Hit our opponent. Down to 11. And then, yeah, I mean... Oh, we're so close. We could blast them to 6. But then we don't have any damage. Yeah, let's just pass. Pass the turn. Watery Grave. Untap down to 9. Okay. Oh, we're close. Oh, we're close. Serum Visions. Oh, we are super close. 2 cards on top. Well, Inquisition. We can't cast both. Let's Shrapnel Blast. Opponent down to 4. Man, we were like a red source away from a turn 3 kill. This gives us a lot of outs. Galvanic Blast is lethal. Shrapnel Blast is lethal. Bomb at Courier is lethal. So many lethal things. We gain a life. Darksteel Citadel. Alright, well, go attacking. Hit our opponent to 2. Pass the turn. Godless Shrine. Gotta come into play tapped. Tapped. Blows explosives. Come on, deck. Give us lethal. Give us lethal. Opponent passes. Oh, Darksteel Citadel. Pass the turn. That's not good. That's not what we wanted. That's not what we wanted. Oh, man. Are we going to run out of damage with our opponent at 2? Polluted Delta. Oh, so close. Opponent. Liliana. Takes it down. We lose Signal Pest. Opponent passes. I'll play the Mountain. Play Cranial Plating. Pass the turn. Can we find the last points of damage and actually get them to resolve? Oh, man. We're so close. Opponent. Delta down to 1. Gets an island. Jace. Oh, man. This is the turn. This is the turn. I guess our opponent can tick up Jace. Brainstorms. All right. This is the turn deck. Any of our blast effects, a Bomat Courier, those are lethal. That's what we need. If we don't get it this turn, then Jace is going to run away with the game. And it can start Fate Sealing us. Come on, deck. Come on. One time. Explosives on 0. Sure. Come on, deck. Come on. Give us that blast. Give us that blast. Opponent. Passing. Give us a blast. Gain a life. Oh, dear. All right. Well, I guess we play the Mountain. Pass the turn. Now we're probably done. Boy, was that close. With Jace active, it's hard to imagine we can sneak in even 1 point of damage. Oh, man. Well, our colorless mana kind of punished us. If we had 1 additional red source, we would have been able to win back on turn 3. Opponent. Tapping a bunch of mana. Kalitas. That cuts out a lot of outs, actually. Bomat Courier no longer does it. And once our opponent gains life... so we gotta hope they don't have a counter. Alright. Takes up Liliana. Discards an Inquisition. We draw. Well, we gain a life. Ornithopter. Pass the turn. Yep. Well, I guess we have one more turn. One more turn of draw and hope. We have to peel a blast, and we have to hope our opponent does not have a counter. Odds are incredibly slim, but once our opponent gets up above 4 life, then there's no way. So I mean, that's our chance. Wow, what a close loss. Search for Iskanta, sure. Not super relevant. It's just all about this one draw. Opponent gets in. Yep. Up to 4. Well, blast and no counter. That's the name of the game. Opponent passes. We gain a life. Well, play Bomat Courier. Looks like our opponent's holding removal. Attack with Bomat Courier. Alright. Sack Bomat Courier. Blast. Blast. Vault Scourge. Alright, that does it. Oh boy! Wow! So close to the turn 3 kill. But yet so far. Alright, run it back. Alright, we are on the play. Well, I mean, I guess we'll keep this. It's unfortunate that cranial plating gets hit by discard. Alright, so Darksteel Citadel, Memnite, Welding Jar, Vault Scourge, and pass the turn. Hope like crazy for no discard so we can play this cranial plating. Polluted Delta. Cracks it. Watery Grave. Untapped. Alright, well there goes our cranial plating. Come on, Ghostfire Blade or another plating. Yeah, plating down. Opponent passes. Whoo! Cranial plating. Ornithopter. That was a draw, boys and girls. That's what you call a draw in the biz. Get in. Sometimes you draw what they thought sees. Opponent down to 15. Pass the turn. All their discard is now dead. We got no cards in hand. No cards for us. What do you got, opponent? Swamp. Opponent passing. We also get to start gaining life with Inventor's Fair. Not super relevant, but we'll take it. Let's play Springleaf Drum. Wow, opponent counters. Well, that means we get to equip Vault Scourge. Get in a pretty massive hit. And gain a bunch of life. Opponent. Down to 7. We don't have red mana for any future blasts, but what do you got, opponent? Swamp. Serum Visions. Yup. And scoops it up! Scoops it up! Blast off! Oh, we're doing it! Oh, yes! Yes, yes! The deck is actually pretty good. It is pretty good. Whoo, sweet. I mean, for being a $69 deck in Modern, and that's most of that, 25 of that is Blinkmoth Nexus, this deck can actually beat a lot of people. The burn comes through. Sweet. Alright, budget magic time. We are playing some Artifact Blast, kind of like Blast Affinity in Modern, and that sounds pretty good. We got lots of cheap things, and a cranial plating. Polluted Delta, opponent cracks it. Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Cycles, Street Wraith, and Inquisition. Okay. Sure. Takes our plating, and passes. I'll play Darksteel Citadel. Let's just Bomat Courier. Get in a free point of damage. And then next turn we can just literally empty our hand. So it looks like we're up against Jund Death Shadow. The good news here is our blasts offer us a good way to jank our opponent out. Bloodstained Mire, opponent cracks it. Death Shadow life total. Almost. Alright, there's a Goif. Opponent passes. Well, play a Mountain, play Signal Pest, play Arcbound Worker, play Ornithopter, play Memnite. Pass the turn. Not the worst turn, too. We do really need this Signal Pest, though. Opponent. Whoa. Getting frisky. All right, we'll take it. Sure. Down to 16. Opponent. Kill Signal Pest. 2 of them? Not 2 of them. Oh, God. Well, that was bad. Blood Crypt tapped. Well, let's Vault Scourge. Double Fatal Push is pretty rough. That's what we did not want. Hit our opponent down to 11. We got to get him low enough that we can jank him out with a blast. Mishra's Bobble. Opponent cracks it. Takes peek. Watery Grave. Tapped. Opponent goes attacking. Only 1 card in hand. Well, we take it. Down to 9. Opponent passes. Opponent draws. Well, go to combat. Attack, attack, attack. Hit our opponent. Down to 8. Play a Memnite. Pass the turn. Oh, we're going to need a blast. We're going to need a blast. Opponent. Another Goyf. Oh, Manamorphose. Interesting. Okay. Into. Inquisition. Well, good thing we held on to that land. Got our opponent to waste a mana. Opponent. Attacks. Well, we will Ornithopter Chump. Stay at 10. There's Death Shadow. I'll play Blink Moth. Get in with Vault Scourge. I don't know. I don't know. Opponent's at 7. Opponent. Attacks. I mean, if they got Teamer Battle Rage, we're dead. We just have not been able to draw a blast. Block. Counter on Vault Scourge. Blast. We need a blast. Traverse. For Death Shadow. Come on, blast. Come on, blast. Opponent passes. Cranial Plating. Interesting. Play the Mountain. Play Cranial Plating. And a post scopes it up! No answer! No answer! Oh, we're still doing it! We're still doing it! Yes! Opponent did not have the answer. So against this deck, best cards, Etch Champion, 2 Welding Jars. We'll go down Ornithopter, Arcbound Worker, Ghost, Fireblade. Try it like that. Man, I thought we were going to need a blast to jank him out, but we snuck it out. Just barely. Well, alright. I guess this hand's okay. We got lots of Signal Pass. Inquisition. Bomat Courier's fine. So let's just Mountain Bomat Courier. Get in for 1. And yeah, we'll play Ornithopter. Pass the turn. Opponent. Land. And passes. Oh, play Darksteel Citadel. Go to combat. Get in. Play Springleaf Drum. Play Signal Pest. Pass the turn. I'm a little worried about Anger of the Gods. If our opponent angers here... Alright, untap land. A Braid. Yeah, I think we're going to trade up. Hopefully we do better than... Well, alright. Okay. I guess we mostly broke even. There's a Death Shadow. Oh god. And a Death Shadow. And a land. Opponent. Passes. More lands. Well, play Arcbound Worker. Go attacking. Grow the Dorks. Opponent down to 11. Double Death Shadow is kind of rough. That's kind of rough. Opponent untaps. Polluted Delta. Opponent attacks. Sure. We'll take it. If we're dead, we're dead. Our way of winning this game is that our opponent gets too greedy and we draw one of our blast effects, and we can, like, attack, blast them for 5, and win. So if they, like, crack, get untapped lands, there's a chance that they, like, play around Lightning Bolt, but not an actual blast. Ugh. Or there's a chance that we just keep drawing lands. Attack. Hit our opponent for 1. Yeah, now we're just kind of flooding out. Down to 10. Okay. Opponent untaps. Death Shadows are 3/3s. Cracks. Watery Grave. Down to 7. Manamorphose. Okay. Manamorphose. Okay. Catacombs. Goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we got a block or we're dead. Counter on Signal Pest. Oh, come on, Blast. Opponent passes. Wow. That Shrapnel Blast. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent's down to 5. Do we just do it now? Yeah, I mean, I guess we do. Shrapnel Blast you? No counter? Got him! Got him! No counter! Blast off the top! Take that Death Shadow! That's exactly how we said we'd have to win that game. And it's exactly how we won the game. Oh, man. We're beating a lot of good modern decks with a really cheap, really janky Affinity style deck. Well, blast ya. Sweet. All right, budget magic time. We are playing some Artifact Blast in modern, and yeah, sounds fine. We got a lot of blasts and a few artifacts, and let's see if we can actually close this out with a perfect 5-0. I mean, in single matches, we didn't play a league, but still, we played a lot of top tier decks, and our really cheap deck is kind of beating them. So, Memnite, Signal Pest, Darksteel Citadel. I mean, the beauty of this deck is, look at our hand right now. Look at our hand. We have 4, 8, 13 points of instant speed burn damage. We already have 3 artifacts on the battlefield. We got another one coming next turn. So we only really need to get in 7 points of damage, and we can win the game. Next turn, we will probably just blast our opponent's face. Man, that's a lot of Serum Visions. So many Serum Visions. All right. Opponent, doing their thing, passes. Well, play a Mountain, play Signal Pest, play Ornithopter, go attacking, hit our opponent for 2. Galvanic Blast our opponent, pass the turn. I think we actually just win next turn if we draw Red Source. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I mean, assuming our stuff resolves, but opponent passes. Cranial Plating. Well, go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. Down to 7. Pass the turn. Hallowed Fountain. Untap down to 5. Untap down to 5. We got him. We got him. They're going to Cryptic to tap our team, and then we're going to Shrapnel Blast, and we're going to win. That is exactly what's happening. Play Blink Moth, go to combat. Opponent, Cryptic, tap our team. Sure. In response, we will Shrapnel Blast your face. Game! Blast! It is the beauty and power of this deck. Oh, man, it's so good. It's so good. I don't know what our opponent's doing. We're going to bring in Alpine Moon just to name Valakut, because we did see Valakut. Otherwise, I think we just want to stay aggressive. I don't know if we want to really change anything. We'll go up the Alpine Moon. We'll go down 1 Arcbound Worker. Run it like that. Run it like that. Finish it off. All right. We're on the draw. And, I mean, we'll keep this. Flooded Strand. Opponent passing. Well, play Blink Moth, play Ornithopter, play Springleaf Drum, play Arcbound Worker, pass the turn. Opponent cracks. Temple Garden tapped. Our opponent must be playing Bring to Life Scapeshift. Opponent. Flooded Strand. Yep. And passes. Well, let's play Ghost Fireblade. Play Ornithopter. Equip Ghost Fireblade. Go attacking. Are they going to path our Ornithopter? Alright, sure. I mean, that's actually not that bad for us. That gives us enough mana to play and equip Cranial Plating next turn. Opponent cracks. We have 5 points of blast damage at the moment. It also gets us a mountain, which is good. 17. We still need to get in quite a few hits. Opponent. Island. And passes. Well, play Cranial Plating. Play Memnite. Equip Cranial Plating. Go to combat. Attack. Alright, Snapcaster. While our opponent's spending their days pathing our Ornithopters, that doesn't feel that great. Alright, pass Ornithopter. I mean, I guess they're keeping our board relatively clear and working towards a combo. Opponent takes 1. Yup. Well, pass the turn. Opponent, Serum Visions. Getting things set up. Serum Visions, part 2. Getting things set up. There's Valakut. Well, this is our turn to try to get in some damage. Opponent hits us with Snapcaster, sure. Hopefully they don't have another path. Ooh, Galvanic Blast. Well, alright, so equip Ghostfire Blade. Play Vault Scourge. Equip Cranial Plating. Go to combat, attack. Opponent down to 6, pass the turn. I mean, we got lethal blasts. We got lethal blasts. We have the mana. We have the blasts. Land for our opponent. We can't win until next turn. But this might be just like last game, where our opponent's forced to Cryptic to fizzle attacks, and we can take advantage of that to blast them. Opponent. Passing. Alright. Another blast. Well, go to combat. Attack. Opponent blocks Memnite. Drops to 2. Well, I mean, we will pass the turn. Opponent untaps. We have 2 lethal burn spells. One of these blasts should get it done. Prismatic Omen. Okay. Flooded Strand. Okay. So when our opponent goes to crack Flooded Strand, alright, they're not going to crack yet. Well, let's Shrapnel Blast our opponent. Opponent cracks. Yup. Island. Triggers Valakut. Kills Worker. Sure. Cryptic. And, blast you again? The Blast? Undefeated champions of Modern? Oh, we are crushing people! Crushing people! With, $70 Blast Affinity. Okay. Play all the bird spells, throw them to the face. It works. Sweet. So what do we learn this week about Artifact Blast in Modern? And the deck was great. We played 5 matches. We won 5 matches. And we played against a lot of legit decks in Modern. Jeskai Control, one of the best decks in the format. Jund, one of the best decks in the format. Death Shadow, one of the best decks in the format. Scapeshift, Esper Control. We beat a lot of really powerful decks where a single card in our opponent's deck, at least on Magic Online, and in some cases in paper as well, was more expensive than our entire deck. And our plan, it worked amazingly well. Being able to get in just enough damage. We saw that happen many games in our 5-match set where we would get in like that 10 damage. Our opponent would find their Anger of the Gods. They would find creatures. They would find a bunch of fatal pushes. They would find things to stop our plan, where if we were just trying to kill our opponent with creatures, we wouldn't have won those games. But with the 8 blasts in our deck, we were able to win from that position very consistently. We even had some games where we were pretty close to getting turn 3 kills with this deck, which is incredibly fast. Even by modern standards, a turn 3 kill is about as good and as fast as it gets. So our $70/7-tick deck is running at the right speed for the modern format, and we have resilience for the late game with our Galvanic Blast and Shrapnel Blast, because sure, you dealt with our board, but we are top decking towards cards that just take away huge chunks of our opponent's life total, 20-25% of their life total for one card for just 1 or 2 mana. So the deck was legit. If you're looking for a a really cheap starter deck, I feel like Artifact Blast is a pretty good option, and then you can always upgrade towards Affinity proper because you're going to use a lot of these cards in traditional Affinity as well. So I was very impressed with the deck. It was fun, it was good. We blasted people into oblivion and found our way to the 5-0 finish with one of the cheapest modern decks we played in a while, especially on Magic Online. So I don't know, if you're looking for some $7 fun on Moto, keep it in mind, and even $70 in paper, your money's going towards cards that you'll use in Affinity proper. So it's a sweet one. It's a sweet one. I'm super happy with it. It was a blast. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Artifact Blast for Modern, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.